There's a lot of feedback there.
All right. Can Gav hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Yes! Yay! Sorry about the delay, guys. 10 minutes of tech, but we're working it. Gav, thank you so much for being our guinea pig.
No problem. It's actually, I kind of think I realized what was going on here, because now I'm talking to you through Skype now only, and I muted the stream on my computer, and I'm watching you talk now, and your reactions are like 5 seconds after what I'm hearing, so I think there's just kind of a lag thing going on there.
That's, sorry, that is very silly. I'm sorry that was so difficult, and I'm sorry it was kind of weird. The thing is, high dangler vision is very heavy, so it takes a long time to travel through the tube, and it tends to slow down. So let's start off.
Not a bother.
Let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do with Miracle of Sound.
Okay, well, what I do is I make songs, I watch movies and play games, and then I will make a song about the story in them, or sometimes for more funny songs I'll make something about a mechanic in a game or something like that. Basically, I make nerdy songs.
That's pretty sweet. What is the nerdiest song you think you've made out of all of your songs?
The nerdiest one, oh. I think a lot of people say Age of the Dragon Age song is extremely nerdy, the one about the hero named Hawk.
What makes it so nerdy, though?
I'm singing about a hero named Hawk.
Right, fair enough. All right, and...
in a very sincere tone.
In the sincerest of tones. One of the ongoing things that we have during Desert Bus this year is we have a thing called, we have a $6 secret challenge. Basically, we have somebody who said that if I can collect secrets from people, he'll give me $6 from every secret. So, Gav, do you have a secret you'd like to share with us?
A secret? I kind of share all my secrets on Twitter. I don't have many.
That's what it's for.
Let me think. Gosh, I don't know. I'm not any that I want to share, really. No.
What about a little known fact that would be surprising for many people to hear?
Wow, you really caught me on the spot here. I'm trying to think of anything. I mean, okay, here's one not a lot of people know. I failed sound engineering in college.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm actually legitimately quite surprised with that. Did you have to take it again?
No, I just went and applied it to real life.
That is delightful. Okay.
Yeah.
We have... sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's just... I couldn't hear you there. Sorry, go again.
Oh, I was gonna say that's delightful. We've also gotten tons of questions from the viewers online, and they've put a blog post on the Desert Bus website. I don't know if we're gonna have time to go through all of them, but I'm gonna try to make an attempt to. So the first question is from Nick, and he says, "I love how many of your songs, such as Breaking Down the Borders, seem to stay true to the musical aesthetic of the games or movies that inspire them. How important is it for you to do this when you create your songs?"
It's funny, that's something I talk about quite a lot with my audience, because whenever I don't do that, people, because I do it sometimes, if I don't do it, people tend to think this is a flaw in the song sometimes, which I can understand, because, you know, a lot of my songs do sound somewhat similar to the soundtracks of the game, but sometimes it's nice to do something that's completely unrelated to the soundtrack. I don't really have rules in how I pick what should and shouldn't be in a song. It's just whatever feels best at the time, really.
Interesting. What are your feelings on auto-tune?
Yeah, someone's trolling me now. I think, I can't swear on this, can I?
You can say bus.
There's a video I made on YouTube. It's called F.auto-tune, and you can look that up to get my thoughts on auto-tune.
So not a fan, shall we say?
That's pretty vague. I don't know.
It's a musical vlog.
But so you're anti-auto-tune, but how
Extremely
do you feel?
so, yeah.
What are your feelings?
It's banned. It's banned from my studio. If I have someone who wants to use autotune in my studio, they get thrown out of the studio.
Wow, this is
No,
like...
I'm serious. It's ruined the music business. But I'm not going to go on a rant today.
Okay, let's get something less controversial. What about erotic Star Trek fan fiction?
Now that is something I'm not familiar with. However, I did see a link this year that was all over Twitter to some really crazy erotic Mass Effect fan fiction, and I was really surprised how creative some of these DeviantArt guys are. They're extremely creative. You know, whatever floats your boat. That's my thoughts on any kind of pornography, whatever you're into.
That was the exact same word-for-word answer that Daniel gave. Whatever floats your boat. That's good.
That's what you're into.
Also, here from the other Nick, not Nick, other Nick. It's been brought up before on YouTube, he says, but are there any new feelings on releasing instrumental-only karaoke versions of your music?
Yeah, well, I just haven't had a lot of time recently because it's been AAA season, but it's something I will look into next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Here's one from Red Nightmare. What would you love to write the soundtrack for? Game, movie, TV series, anime, whatever?
That's a good question. I think I'd like to do a game soundtrack. I would love to do a game soundtrack to something kind of cyberpunky, you know, like Deus Ex or even Cyberpunk, which looks amazing. So yeah, if you want to let me do that soundtrack CD project, then I would be happy to.
Wow, awesome. Okay, I just like Cyberpunk. I have more Cyberpunk games, damn it, and Gav soundtracks for them. All right, here's a good one. Dear Gav, this is a triple-pronged question from General Vici. 1. What song of yours took you the longest to complete from start to finish?
Sovngarde song, definitely. That song was the most difficult to mix and put together and write out of all the songs. It took upwards of 100 hours to make.
Are you serious?
Oh,
yeah. That song.
I'm just kidding.
Some people who were following me on Twitter last year will remember how stressed I was getting over that song. And Justin, who makes the video, he got like almost 30 different versions of the song sent to him over email. Well, I don't know if he got 30 versions, but he got versions in between the 30 different mixes I did of the song. It was a tricky one.
What was it about that song that was so...
And I still listen to that damn song and hear things I wish I'd changed.
But what made you go through 30 versions? Like, what were you just like, it's not quite right? Like,
mixing is it's a strange thing because it's never really done. It's hard to kind of explain exactly what it's like. There's different colors in a mix, there's different frequencies, there's different things that have to be audible and less audible, and there's different things for atmosphere that you can put in, there's effects, and Sovngarde song has many, many layers of sound in it. There's a lot of voices, there's a lot of instrumentation and guitars and things, and it was just an incredibly thick mix and difficult to get it sounding bright and clear with so much going on in it.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done anything 30 times. Cause
Here's something. It's like, you know, if you're painting a painting, right, and you have to paint a painting with 40 different colors, it's difficult for the painting not to become a big mess of brown. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
So trying to keep all the individual sounds and frequencies clear and delineated. So
exactly, and Sovngarde song has like, I think 90 different tracks in it. That's like 90 different levels of sound.
Good God.
Have you deliberately tried to go into the less that way, into songs that have a little bit more simple instrumentation?
No, they're still all layered to hell.
Oh.
It's how I work. Everyone has their sound, you know. It's kind of, who would I compare it to? You know, like 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, he would have a similar approach to producing where you just put tons and tons and tons of layers on top of everything and then mix it after.
Or like Boards of Canada, where they're like, we spend 2 months on a single hi-hat noise. That kind of like ultra precise, it's got to be perfect level of detail.
Yeah. Well, like, again, it depends on the song. Like, some of them come together really easily, and you're always surprised when that happens. So.
Okay. Here's a sort of, I'm going to skip part 2 of this to get through more questions, but General Michi's third prong to his question is, do you have a favorite song from your own catalog, and what's your favorite song from others' catalogs?
My own favorite song, I think, is probably Life in Bullet Time, the one for Max Payne 3. I like it, and it's funny actually. I know I heard you guys were talking about Mike Patton earlier from Faith No More, and he's like a huge idol of mine. And that song, Life in Bullet Time, was my blatant attempt at ripping off Faith No More's musical style and his voice.
Okay, if you know Mike Patton, here's a question for you. How do you feel about Mr. Bungle?
I've never been able to get into Mr. Bungle in a big way, but I can certainly appreciate it, if that makes any sense. I appreciate what he's doing, but just from the actual plain primal pleasure to ear thing, it doesn't do as much for me as his other projects. But it's still really good stuff, and I can see how some people go crazy for it. It's manic, you know.
Yeah, and the first album, if you need to get people out of your house because you want to shut down a party, is great.
Yeah. Well, I just start singing if I want to do that.
All right. Hey, Gavin, says Robert, any release date for another album, bracket level 3? Because it's very tempting to buy the singles. And is there a chance for another CD? Love your work and keep it up.
Okay, I'll answer the first part first. Thing with the level albums is I don't want to rip anyone off, and I wait until I've got a good, decent number of songs to put on the albums, so people are getting value. So there's about 8 or 9 new songs now, and when it gets to about 17 or 18 since the last one, I'll put out an album then. And as for the second one, yes, I'm thinking of putting out a best of CD next year with the best of what I imagine then would be about 80 of Miracle's Sound songs will be out by then. So I'll pick the best ones and put them onto a CD.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Okay. From Ryoku Solana. What are you most looking forward to writing a song about in the near future? Are there any movies or games that you're like, oh, I'm so pumped for that?
Hobbit. Absolutely The Hobbit.
Nice. Do you have some loots and things that you are want to try out with that?
I have some ideas, but I don't want to spoil what they are just yet.
Okay. So it's basically we should be in anticipation mode for your Hobbit song.
Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
No, disengage the anticipation thrusters, guys. All right. Let's see. Here's one from Ethan. He says, I was at the Escapist Expo, and I just want to say that your concert was awesome with 6 exclamation marks. So he truly thought it was awesome. Great.
It was really an awesome night, actually. It was really, really fun.
He says, you said for a long time you couldn't write a Halo song because you didn't feel inspired by the game, or from the game.
Yeah.
What did you find different about Halo 4?
The story. There was something in the story that I could kind of find interesting enough to write about in that Master Chief's relationship with Cortana, which I thought was a really nice story. It's just a story about friendship, and I don't know if it was intended as a metaphor for this, but it kind of felt to me like someone who has a friend whose mental health is falling apart, and you're trying to promise them and reassure them it'll be okay, even though somewhere deep down you know it probably won't be. And I thought that was an interesting story to write about.
Interesting. If you had to pick one of your songs for the entire world to hear at least once, if you're just like, this is my musical legacy, what would it be?
Either Rise or Sovngarde song for now, but I'm hoping I'm going to make that song at some point. But for now, I'll pick Rise or Sovngarde song.
Awesome. And one question, and I had it and I lost it. I'm not very professional here.
That's okay.
Humor a former musician, says Kojo, and tell me, what would be your perfect show? If you were the headliners, who would open, and what kind of show would it be? Would it involve lasers?
Oh hell yeah! It would have guitars with lasers shooting out of them.
Nice.
I don't know. My ideal show, I'll tell you what, I would bring back Freddie Mercury and reform Queen.
Yes.
I would bring back Michael Jackson, have him play. I would have Iron Maiden play. I would. It would be a lot of older music, put it that way.
Interesting. What's your favorite Iron Maiden album and song?
My favorite Maiden album is one that it's kind of a controversial one, and it's Somewhere in Time. I absolutely love that album. Favorite Maiden song? That's like, wow, that's a hard one. They're all so good. I think I really like the title track from Somewhere in Time. I love a lot of the stuff off Seventh Son. Gee, I don't know. What's your favorite Maiden song? Is anyone there a Maiden fan?
No. Sorry.
2 minutes to midnight.
It was.
That
right.
is a great song. Yeah.
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot there. One last question. Can you give us a hint about what your next song is going to be?
I can't because I don't know yet, which is nice because I've been working solidly now for the last few weeks because it's AAA season. I decided I was going to change to one song a month, and since I've changed to one song a month, in 2 months I've made 7 songs. So that didn't work out as I expected, so I'm taking a break now for a couple of weeks and then I'll think about it. It'll probably be Assassin's Creed 3, but we won't say for definite.
Quite a few questions in the comments about Assassin's Creed 3 and if that would be your next song.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings on that game. I really did. I felt like the story was good, but Connor was nowhere near as interesting as Ezio for me. But that's because I'm really gay for Ezio, always have been. Come on, guys, you know you all are.
He's my dad. I can't.
And I thought the location wasn't as interesting as Assassin's Creed 2. The story was really good and stuff, but my god, the mechanics in that game made me want to punch a hole in a wall. It's like 60-70% of the missions, you do one thing out of place for 2 seconds and you instantly fail the mission. And it's like, what is the point of this huge big open world if the missions are so rigid and strict and you just fail them from taking one step out of place? So it kind of drove me crazy, that game, and because it does so much well and then it does so much so badly as well.
What do you think would be a more interesting setting for an Assassin's Creed game?
I would love to see one in Victorian England or in Japan or even in Ireland. That would be awesome. During the Civil War in Ireland.
Ooh.
That'd
be awesome.
Feudal Japan.
I mean,
awesome.
the stuff is all there, you know. There's, I won't go into the history too much, but there's opportunities for sneaking and sabotage and all that stuff. But the problem there would be, of course, the political stuff, and I don't think they would ever do that because we're friends with England now, and we had the Queen over last year, and it's all happy.
Good grief. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to get into Irish politics and Queenie stuff. Did she bring corgis? Because everybody can get behind corgis.
She actually, you know what? She actually made a lovely speech. It was very nice, and it was a very touching moment for everyone, I think.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay.
We technical difficulties have given us a slightly shorter interview time with you. Thank you so much for calling in. This was.
Did you get the album codes?
We did, and I'm going to give them out as soon as we're done talking because I realized I couldn't run the interview and give out album codes at the same time.
Okay, no problem.
But one woman, we're going to put them in the chat for people to, and I'm going to put them in the chat, and I will then give the link to redeem them, and it will be awesome and cool. And please check out Miracle of Sound on The Escapist. And anything else you want to plug while you're here?
No, just saying well done, guys. It's amazing how much money you've raised already, and what you're doing is awesome. And thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
All right.
No worries, dude. And good to see you again, by the way, even if it's only on a screen. Everyone needs to come to Escapist Expo next year.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to. Hopefully, I will meet you in person someday. All right. I will see you later. I'm waving to the microphone.
Waving.
Bye.
You probably can't see us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Magic Man.